Hey sis, you're about to set the New Year's goal now. Remember the art of prioritization, balance, and simplicity. You can thank me later for your success.
Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. It's time of the years again, when new goals everywhere, new versions of yourself everywhere, and if you feel inspired but strangely overwhelmed, you are not doing it wrong. You are just surrounded by too much noise and too many external expectations. To be frank, if you are so confused about where to start or what truly matters for you in the next year, this video is all you need. I know this might not be the only New Year goal video you watch, but I promise it will be the one that slows you down and help you to set the goal with intentions and track them in a way that actually work for you in the long term. So in 2025, I did something different with my New Year's goal. Instead of writing down my long list of goals in the notebook, as I usually did before, I narrowed down to only 5 big goals, only those that truly matter to me, and I wrote them in postcards and hang them there in my workspace. At first, I didn't think it would make any change because they seem to be so simple, but by the end of this year, for the first time ever, I crossed every single goal I set for myself. And as I mentioned, they were very big and life-changing goals. For example, this one, I earned in total from content and brand collaboration this year. Also from a new role with the new salary above. I didn't realize it immediately, but when I look back, I actually just fixed one of the biggest mistakes I kept making years over years. And honestly, it sucked. When you are super ambitious, you are so confident about changing your life, but you kept falling, not because you're lazy, but because you are falling into the trap. You are making the same mistake that you didn't even realize. That's why I want to make this video as a shortcut for you to make sure that you will not falling into the same mistakes when setting your goals for a new year. In this video, I will share with you 3 biggest mistakes. Only 3 so that you can actually remember that they are all impactful enough that will change how you approach your New Year goal this year for good. And most importantly, nearly the end of this video, I will sit down with my laptop and show you exactly my setup at the beginning of the year to achieve my goal. I also show you how I track, manage my goal daily, monthly, and quarterly. No secrets, no best advice, just the real system that works for me. So now, let's jump to the first mistake. One of the biggest mistakes I have made in the past is that I thought writing things down will make them goals, but it doesn't. Most of us aren't even setting goals. We are just simply writing down wish lists, and here's the difference. A goal is actionable, a wish list is aspirational. A goal asks, what will I do to make this happen? But a wish list tells you that it would be nice if this happens. When you write a wish list, the mindset is so different. It feels so light, optional, and nice to have. There is no real pressures for you to figure out how to actually make this happen. The same mindset most of the time goes with vision board. We love them because they are aesthetic. But if you don't deeply understand what each image means to you, they just simply turn into visual noise. You might think that having 20 or 30 goals is motivating, but in reality, the more things you call goals, the more distracted you become. And you probably feel too overwhelmed before you even start, and maintaining following up to your goal throughout the year becomes almost impossible. That's why in this new year, try to do the same as I did before. Narrow down your long list of goals into only 3 or 5 big goals that you truly want to commit to. And yes, I agree, this is the hardest part because it's always easier to just write a long list and feel so inspirational and so productive, motivated. But honestly, the long list doesn't require any commitment, it's useless. And listen to me, when you narrow down your goal, 2 magical things happen. First of all, you have to ask yourself, which goal am I truly willing to invest all my time, effort, and energies and focus on it this year? Which goals actually matter the most to me? And which goals will make my year truly meaningful when I achieve them? And secondly, it gives you more mental space, more time to plan, more time to execute, more time to check in and adjust. I say this so many times already. Your brain works better when there's fewer things for it to focus on. And this is the art of prioritization. Okay, just a side note. This doesn't mean that you should throw away your wish list or your vision board at all. I still have mine. It's different from goals because it's very important for you to really understand the difference because your New Year goals require you to commit to in the long term. They are what you show up to every single day, even when your motivation fades. That shift in your mindset alone can completely change your New Year resolutions. So, to conclude the first mistake for you, right after this video, take your long list and narrow it down. Circle only 3 or 5 goals that truly matter that you are willing to commit in this new year. For this second mistake, I swear I have talked about this so many times already, but for some reasons, I still see so many people give up on their New Year's because of this mistake. Like most people focus or just create only outcome goals, but the real progress, the real engines that will keep you going on throughout the year to pursue your goals is actually when you balance these 2 types of goals, what you can and cannot control. This is the art of balance. Let me give you some examples. Let's take one outcome goals as get promotion at work and another progress goals as publish 3 YouTube videos per month. When we look at outcome goals, you can see that outcome goals give you the direction. They help you to visualize where you want to go in your journey. But the problem is they are very unpredictable. They depend on timing, on people, and a lot of external factors that you cannot control the success of this goal. On the other hand, process goals are different. They focus on the action that you can take consistently. They are measurable, they are repeatable, and because you can control them, the chance of success for the process goal is much higher. And as I said, anytime you get closer, you show up for yourself, you achieve these progress goals, you also build your confidence along the way because you're having the mindset of like, if I can do this, I can do more. Now, here's where most people get stuck. As I mentioned, they just focus on one side, on one kind of goals only. If you set only outcome goals, your motivation fluctuates a lot along the way. Some month you're gonna feel like, I am really on track. But the other month you will feel like I am falling down the track even though you're putting a lot of effort because the success of this goal are very unpredictable and depends on a lot of factors. But if you only set the progress goal, you will feel busy but also a bit uninspired. Along the way, you put in the work, but you will feel disconnected with the vision, with the version that you are becoming, because honestly, you don't have it. That's why you need both. Outcome goals give your efforts meaning, and process goals make success inevitable. When you balance the two, you feel motivated and consistent along the way. If we look at this first goal list, it's really long, it looks very ambitious, but is it a bit distracting? Nothing stands out, and when you are spreading your focus on too many things, your energies and motivation level will fade out along the way very quickly. And then for this second goal list is much shorter, it's narrowing down, and these are amazing habits, but I can see that all of them are progress goals. As I said, you will feel very busy, you feel like you're doing a lot every single day, but then you also feel a bit disconnected with the direction. Sometimes you will feel like you are doing a lot, but you don't know why, and that's why you need more than just only progress goals in your list. And I love this third goal list. This is an example of what I call the balance between progress and outcome goals. And also this list doesn't contain a long list of everything you want to achieve, and then you can achieve what truly matters and make your life more meaningful. There are mainly 2 groups of people who struggle the most with New Year's goals. The first group, they never plan at all. They set goals, feel motivated for a while, but then they put the goals there and wait and hope that it will come true. And then we have the second groups who also struggle a lot, are the people who set goal and plan carefully, thoroughly the next step, but then they track nothing. Personally, I was in the second group in the beginning of 2025. So I set a few goals in January, but then the month later, I went back home in Vietnam. I stayed there for 2 months. And then when I flew back to Finland, by that time, I was too overwhelmed to track my progress. It wasn't because I didn't care at all about my goals, but because the system I used then was really complicated and it was really time consuming for me to track the next step. I also know other people avoid tracking because they have a lot of goals, a lot of tasks, and everything feels so noisy. So that's why, as I mentioned already, first of all, we don't set too many goals that make us feel like a chore, something really heavy to track. And secondly, we need to make sure that the act of tracking is simple, like it doesn't feel like a burdensome for us to do. And that's the art of simplicity. I remember last year the tracker templates I used, it took me about like nearly 4 days to finish, and it was a mistake for sure. So this year I built something simpler, but make sure that I can still like keep up with everything I needed with my goal setting. This template took me like 4 or 5 hours to build. It's not because I care less this year, but because, as I mentioned, now I know what truly matters, what I really need. I cut all the unnecessary steps, all the visual noise. I just focus on what truly matters, what really helped me to track and do for the next step. Simple, clear, and most importantly, all in one place, because when I'm too busy, I cannot switch between tabs. I hate that. So let me show you how I set up my planner and tracker for this new year. The first step after I set the goals for the new year's is to break goals into milestones, because usually it takes a long time to achieve a goal. So milestones are like smaller time frame for me to focus on. Let's take like get a promotion at work as an example here. I break it out into a few different milestones. For example, checking with the manager to apply expectations and responsibilities, and then also another milestone is execute the growth plan after the discussions. A very important milestone for preparation for the year-end meeting. In this milestone, I will set even smaller actions or tasks, like list key projects wins, gather feedback from colleagues, and I can even make them into the daily task. Let's take another progress goals like post 3 YouTube videos per month. And for me, this milestone is basically posting 3 videos per month. And that's it, no overcomplication. Then also on my daily view, as you can see, I can only focus on tasks that move this milestone forward. Then every month or quarter, I review my progress for each goal. I often ask, do my timeline still make sense? Can I adjust milestones based on new information? For example, if I optimize my content process and I can put, for example, 4 videos this month, I will update the plan accordingly. On the other hand, if there's a big project at work in November, that's why I need to move this milestone timeline a little bit, and I gather feedback from colleagues 1 month earlier. As you can see, the plans evolves with my life. As you can see, my daily focus is clear, and tracking my goals, my progress is simple. And therefore, staying consistent is much easier for me. Not because I am more consistent than you, but just because I use a system or tool that's simple, easy, and helped me to do so. If you want to download my beautiful template for free, just check the link in the descriptions and grab yourself. Let me know how you feel about it, because I am happy to receive your feedback and improve this template. Oh my gosh, so let's recap on the 3 mistakes that you should avoid that can make or break the New Year resolution. First of all, avoid drowning yourself in a long wish list without knowing what goals really matter to you. When everything is your goals, nothing really gets your full attention. And my personal advice for you is to just focus on 2 or 3 goals every single year. I think that's quite a lot already if you think about big life-changing goals. And this is the art of prioritization. Secondly, don't forget to combine both outcomes and progress goals, because outcome goals give you directions and progress goals give you control along the way. When you combine, you need both goals to stay motivated and consistent when chasing your dream. And this is the art of balance. And last but not least, don't fall into the trap of overcomplicating things. Goals fail when planning and tracking become too heavy for you to maintain. Simple system and regular check-ins are what carry you throughout the year. This is the art of simplicity. So, my dear friends, remember this: prioritize what matters, balance vision with actions, simplify your system. This is how you truly achieve your New Year goals. Also, if you want to make this much easier for you this year, don't forget to download the planner and tracker I just showed you before via the link in the description. I swear, I promise, this is the only tracker you need to help you stay on track this year without feeling like burnout, you know? And also, the other episodes in this New Year resolution masterclass are also must watch for you, especially the episodes about how to make good habits stick and also the true glow up that no one had talked about on social media. Maybe. And before we end this video, I want to bring back the first story from the beginning. So this year, for the first time ever, I crossed every single goals I set for myself. I don't think I was doing anything better than anyone here to cross my goal. It's simply because I stopped overcomplicating things and use the system that's simple enough but supportive enough for me to achieve what I need. I am generally excited for 2026 because I know that whatever goals I set to, I have strong foundations. I have the system, I have the tracker, I have the right mindset to pursue them. And more importantly, I truly want the same for you. I want you to feel clear, confident throughout the years, and proud to look back at your years at the end of every year. And if this video helps you even just a little, it means so much to me. I hope you enjoyed this episode of my New Year Resolution Masterclass. Don't forget to subscribe to my channels and also follow me on Instagram for daily inspiration for workout, work-life balance tips. Thank you so much for watching this video. We are building a better life together and I can't wait to see what's gonna happen to us in 2026. I hope this new year will be full of happiness and success for all of us. Happy New Year's! And see you in the next video. Bye bye!